Yeah, not until after a story that my dad told me, and me just hearing thousands, literally, of testimonies of people just over my lifetime with their encounter with the possible Bigfoot. And I mean, when you've got thousands of people saying, you know, hey, something happened, can't really explain it, don't have much proof, but something happened, you know. And so, of course, I watched a few of those television shows and whatnot, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm not sure about the whole impression thing, the Bigfoot impression thing. I'm a born-again Christian. You know, after hearing the story that my father told me, because my dad, he had a Bigfoot experience. And I believe if Bigfoot wouldn't have showed up on the night Big showed up for my dad, and displayed God's talents expertly, I wouldn't probably be here right now. Right before my dad met my mother, I'm not sure the time on it, but he had been talking to some other chick or whatnot. You know, they were teenagers, you know, and he had taken this girl out into the spot where all the locals take each other out on dates, I guess, to go and, what do they call those spots? You know what I'm talking about. You know, where they go and kiss and make out and all that stuff. Well, anyways, my dad had took this chick over there one night. My dad was like 17, 18, 19, something like that. She was about 19, 17, 18, something like that. So anyways, the way my dad tells it, and I'm not going to tell his story, I'm going to let him tell it one day, but just a little bit. Him and this young lady was sitting on this trunk of his car, this new car that he just bought, and he had backed it up in the woods there a little bit, which was common. Most kids did that. Got back off in the cut a little bit. Well, the sun went down, and they started talking and going on and stuff. And then all of a sudden, my dad said he just heard just the most unbelievable sounds that were so disturbing, and started to hear trees snap like a big giant was running towards them. You can hear the footsteps banging on the ground and stuff like that. And it scared my dad and that young lady out of there so fast. And, you know, it scared that young lady so bad, she never even called my dad back again. Thank gosh. Or I wouldn't be here, because like a few weeks later, he met my mother, had 6 kids, and was married for almost 60 years, you know. And the Bigfoot entity showing up on the day that he did for my dad, it altered my dad's life forever. Forever. Bigfoot has an agenda when he is sent down here from God himself to get an individual, people, multiple people. Forgive me, I'm driving. He does this to get people out of a position that they've done got themselves into, whether it could harm them or they might be about to make a decision that they shouldn't, that might alter their life in the future. And so I believe and after all the things that I have picked up with Dryshot photography in God's sky, Bigfoot most absolutely must be real, and I hope to pick up on him one day. You know, that's a challenge, because nobody has, not even a real good image of Bigfoot. All right, so I got all of these images that are possibly entities from another planet, which hopefully will all soon be verified, and the world will know finally, hey, we are not here alone, but they're very cool looking. It's possible they're us after we die. God does promise us eternal life, and I believe Bigfoot is one of God's imperishables. I believe God sends Bigfoot down here to get people out of a mess by scaring them out of there. Okay? By scaring them out of there, but with no harm done, but a great story to tell once it's over. Bigfoot has never harmed one human soul. Matter of fact, just the opposite. I bet you there's hundreds of thousands of people out there, if they would just tell their story, Bigfoot probably did them the same way. You might have been walking in the wrong direction. You might have went into a spot in that forest that you would have never been able to get out of because of ignorance, because you didn't study, you didn't learn the environment. Instead, you just wandered off into the forest. Well, God has plans for you. So what does he do? He sends Big down here as an entity that you may or may not see. And if you do, trust me, because I've seen entities and they hit like that and they're gone like that. So, I do believe hundreds of thousands of people possibly have seen an entity that we call Bigfoot. The foot impressions, I'm not going for it. Sorry for everybody out there that believes in the giant footprints. I don't think so. Bigfoot, he glides, okay? And when you're hearing snapping and trees and all that popping, hey, God is also Mother Nature. If he wants to snap a few trees and make the wind whirl up, well, I think he can do that. Because, you know, he sits at the top of the mountain, okay? So Bigfoot, when he finds this person in distress, that God has sent him down here to this earth to get that person out of that situation, to put them back on the right path. So Bigfoot is not only real, okay, he's here to save lives and alter lives, to put them in the right direction. Now, there's a million opinions out there about Bigfoot. Is he real or not? Well, you just heard my opinion. Yep, he's real, just probably not the way you think he is. But he does exist. So all your stories, in my opinion, are confirmed. You don't need footprints. All you need is the sounds and maybe seeing some brush knocked by, stuff like that. You will see that because God has that force. If God wanted to slap a big footprint down there on the ground, I'm sure he could. But he ain't doing that, okay? If Big's in the woods, he is when he needs to be. He's gliding through those woods, snapping them trees and making them loud noises to get you out of there. Put you back on the right path where you can get home and have a great, great story to tell your family you're safe. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't probably for the entity Bigfoot. Now that's right here could be Bigfoot, because he is invisible. But people have probably seen him in split seconds. And they definitely heard the popping and snapping and the loud screaming and the rocks and this and that. So yeah, Bigfoot's real. And hopefully one day, all right, I challenge everybody out there to go try to get some Dryshot photos and beat Lucinda, beat the pink-winged angel. Good luck with that. I mean, so seriously, good luck. I want more of these images. And, but I'll challenge myself to go get a legitimate, real photograph, potentially video of Bigfoot. I bet you I can do it. And I'll end on that note. Of course, Bigfoot's real.